What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Three in the Key. My name is Grant, and I'm the host that thinks, honestly, Shea isn't even foul baiting. It's just they look bad. They're bad fouls. He's not even getting that many free throws, but maybe it's just me.
What's up, y'all? I'm Jay. I'm the host that doesn't think Jokic was robbed.
Yes, he
Yo,
wasn't.
what's going on? I'm Kaim, and I'm the host that has officially crossed the picket line, bro. I've tried for too long. I like Caitlin Clark. I don't like Angel Reese. Yeah, I'm out there. I'm with them boys, bro. I'm with those right
Bro, this
wingers, bro.
guy's with goddamn RG.
Yeah.
He's not with us.
I'm on those boys. You know the meme where they have like the sunglasses on Twitter? They're like all Lamar haters, bro. It's all them. It is me, bro. Caitlin Clark's the GOAT.
He's not with us.
And goddamn Reese is unlikable. It's decided.
It's okay. It's okay. All right. It's getting down to the nitty gritty. It's Eastern Conference and Western Conference Finals. We're gonna touch on a little bit of that this episode. Then, Shai just won the MVP. We'll discuss a little bit about that and just our thoughts. So we'll move into that. Let's talk about the most important or the most interesting game, which was the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
We just had game one. The Pacers did some black magic again, came back from insurmountable deficit, and Tyrese Haliburton used some voodoo to hit his last shot and tie the game up, and then the Pacers won in overtime. So I want to hear your boys' thoughts. What's happening? Who do you guys think is going to win the series? And just, are the Pacers a championship team?
You know, it's just very annoying after me personally being a Pacers hater this whole season. And look at them now, they're 3 games away from the NBA Finals. And I just don't know what to say. But after seeing them play, they played a healthy Knicks squad. There's nothing I could really say, man. I mean, they look like a championship squad. Now, I will say I watched the game. Neesmith hit about 5 threes in a row, and that's not normal. That's not normal. If he does it again, he should win like Eastern Conference MVP. Yeah. But like everybody talked about how Haliburton, Neesmith carried those last like 2 minutes. Like Haliburton hit the shot at the end, but before that, it was Aaron Neesmith every single possession. And I just don't understand. It looked like the Knicks players were tripping and slipping every single time. Like he was like, they weren't the best looks, but because they didn't even get a hand in his face like half the time. He was whopping those. As they look right now, they're going to keep playing at that level. Yeah, I mean, and even how they started the game, they started like 7 for 7. Actually, they might have started like 8 for 8. They were not missing.
I think it was 9 for 9.
When they're hot, they're hot, and you can't beat them.
Mm-hmm.
I saw something that said, I think it was on First Things First, that said over the last 6 minutes of the game, or 6:15 of the game, the Pacers outscored the Knicks 31-14. So they scored enough for an entire quarter. Honestly, a good offensive quarter in half the quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I watched it, so my experience watching the game was different. I had to work late that day. The Knicks, they go up by like 14 with like 3 minutes left. I'm cheering for the Pacers, but I would honestly pick the Knicks. So I'm like, all right, this makes sense to me. I like Haliburton, but the Knicks are going to win. I turn it off. Then all of a sudden, I'm getting all these weird texts about the game like 30 minutes later. I was like, yo, bro. No, Jay, you texted. You say, yo, this game is crazy. You texted, bro. My brother texted me. I'm like, yo, how is it crazy? I turned this off 20 minutes ago. I turned it back on there in overtime, so I had to rewind and watch the game. What I respect about the Pacers is, once I knew they were in overtime, but I didn't know how it happened. I just saw them up 14 with 3 minutes left, and then I fast forwarded overtime. When I went back and watched it, I expected New York to crumble. And New York did make some mistakes. They missed a couple free throws, but they were still scoring. Like, Karl-Anthony Towns hit a layup. He hit a tough fadeaway. Brunson hit a layup. This at the end of the fourth quarter. Like, they didn't just completely go away. But for the Pacers, bruh, they were not missing, bruh. They were not missing. Point blank, period. So that was probably one of the greatest comebacks I've ever seen in my entire life. Neesmith might get paid off this. Like, I actually hope I don't know what his contract situation is. I know he hopes that he's a free agent after this year, because that alone could get the man paid. Shouts out to that man. I barely knew who that guy was. Like, if I was on the walking trail behind my house and I saw Neesmith, I would be like, dang, I wonder if I know him from school or something. Like, who is that? And now, the funniest part of it, it's completely shifted now, bro. I called my girl. I said, yo, I'm watching this game, bro. This random dude named Neesmith is going crazy, bro. She's like, oh, yeah. I went to college with Neesmith. I know XYZ. I said, no, no. I said, you know this, man. I said, yo, nobody's safe now. Even Neesmith could take it shorty, but nah. So nah, hey, I have nothing bad to say for now. I'll start positive about the Pacers. It was a great game one. I think it's still gonna be a tough series, but the Knicks are like now they basically had to beat them 5 times now. They basically beat them that game, and now they have to do it 4 times out of the next 6. So they put themselves in a good position for sure.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I saw that stat too of them scoring like 30 points. But then there was another stat they had in the past in like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. They scored 23. 2 minutes and 30
I didn't
seconds.
know
They
that.
scored 20.
Smith hit like like those 5 threes. That's 15 points.
Yeah,
That was crazy.
53, and I'm like, dang, like 23 points. So no, the Pacers, and they've done that. They've done that to me early in the playoffs where I was like, yo, like I turned the game off. I turned it back on and they won. When they beat the Bucks, they won. I turned the game off with 5 minutes left. I'm like, oh, they're gonna lose. Turn it back on. They won. I'm like, oh wow. Like it seems like that's kind of it feels like destiny.
Yeah.
Lately, it feels like when you do it that many times, it's like this team is destined to win. Like the gods are on their side. They're destined to win. So in terms of them being a championship team, honestly, they proved to me just now they beat New York in New York, so they can go to the finals. Now, I think what will they beat the Western Conference team, which is looking like it's going to be the Thunder? I think the stars do have to align, and some more tomfoolery and black magic has to be in their pocket.
Yeah, bull job. I don't think they can beat the Thunder.
I don't think they can beat the Thunder either.
What they've proven to me is that if somehow Minnesota was to come back, I think they would play Minnesota tough because Minnesota is not quite as good as the Thunder, but the Thunder won 68 games for a reason. Unlike the Cavs, they're not fraudulent. Like, I don't think at the beginning of these series, I thought whoever was coming out of the West was beating whoever's coming out of the East, but I thought the Knicks would have given a better fight. And I actually still think the Knicks, I don't think the Knicks are done, by the way. 1-0, I don't think they're done. But like I just think the Thunder watching them, they're just too good. Like they're good at every position. Everybody's good on defense. Everybody's good on offense. Your best hope, like for the Denver series when Denver was winning some of those games, honestly, you just have to hope they're missing some of those open threes that they generate because they're gonna generate them. So you have to hope those like other guys like Wiggins and Dort are just gonna miss. And I can't see Indiana overcoming that. But hey, what do I know? At this point, I would have never guessed it would have been this Final Four.
Yeah,
Like this Final Four has completely surprised me. So we'll see.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not counting the Knicks out. I also like watching the game. OG Anunoby had a horrible offensive game.
Mm.
Horrible offensive game, and like maybe that has kind of been the trend in the playoffs. But sometimes they won, sometimes they have it. But he was getting open shots and just missing. And at the end of the day, they got to overtime because those missed free throws and a couple missed shots. And like I feel like Indiana did score those like 20 points in 2 minutes, but also the Knicks could have slowed down they could have slowed down the game, but instead they decided to try to match them shot for shot. And you can't do that again. Like you can't do that. Like Karl Towns or like Brunson would come down, like they would pull a quick three. And I was just like, you didn't need hold the ball. If they held the ball for like 10 more seconds, like slow the game down. Like even the commentators they were saying, like Reggie Miller was like, yeah, they're gonna try to like outrun them, but you can even see in overtime, Jalen Brunson is so tired. He started like fumbling the ball like end of the fourth quarter, and in overtime was like he's literally tired. Like he's tired, and he had to be the one to initiate the offense, and it was just bad.
Yeah, it looked like the Knicks got flustered, bro. Like they had a couple of times where it looked like turnovers and they didn't turn it over somehow. And then they finally did turn over the one in overtime, the important one that I think Nimhard like tipped it, but then
Yeah,
it
it
went
went
on.
off Brunson. Yeah,
Yeah, but before that, bro, I mean, they almost had a turnover in the backcourt where Brunson just had to like throw it in.
and when he just threw it down, and somehow Indiana didn't get the ball.
They got lucky. I did think it was kind of a foul, but they had the one on the inbound where like Josh Hart and Nimhard both like kind of fell towards the ball. So they just got beat. Like starting midway through the fourth quarter, they just got beat. I think from the Knicks perspective though, they probably look at it and say, real talk, like real talk. If Nimhard goes 4 for 6, which is still excellent in the fourth quarter from 3 instead of 6 for 6, we win. So I feel like New York, if they could just be mentally tough about it and not get too down on themselves, they can still win this series. Like they're like, hey, I mean not Nimhard, sorry, Neesmith. If Neesmith does that again, then you tip your cap. You go home.
Yeah, like
But he's not doing that again. So I
right,
feel like
bro.
the Knicks should approach this like, hey, they got one. We just got to play that much harder in game 2.
Yeah. I mean, Neesmith went 8 for 9 from 3 that game. Egregious.
Yo,
Yeah, he looked like Klay Thompson because he was just pulling up and shooting. He was just pulling and
bro,
shooting. Like
no form. He
I
wasn't. He didn't care about his form, bro.
he was going for the basket. That's
He's
what he was. He
punting
was
that
like he was leaning forward, leaning back. It didn't matter. It was going in.
and like you said, the Knicks. It felt like the Knicks were going to win that game just because there were a few, probably 4 or 5 possessions I saw towards the end of the game where I'm like, oh, the Knicks just threw a turnover, and then it didn't. It wasn't a turnover, and then they scored. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
they got lucky. I'm like,
they were getting lucky.
so yeah. All right, boys. Let's move on to the West. OKC and the Wolves. It's been pretty dominant by OKC, especially once you hit the third quarter. They kind of pull away from the Wolves. What do you guys think is going to happen, and can the Wolves make a comeback?
I feel like I have less faith in the Wolves than I did the Celtics and the Cavs making a comeback. To be honest, like I be watching, and then you see the Thunder start to pull away, and then the Wolves have they have no answer whatsoever. Like nobody can do anything, and it's like, okay, well, if Ant's not going to do every single thing, then the game's over.
Yeah, I mean, there are other guys that kind of helped them win the last couple series. Obviously, last series Steph was out, so that changes everything. But first series against Luka and LeBron, and then last series was Randall. Randall was
Randall's showing his true
like a
colors.
superstar for the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. And Randall didn't play horrible in game 1, but yesterday, game 2, completely no show from Randall. And the way their team is set up, they're not like the Thunder or even the Pacers, where they got 8, 9, 10 players. They need Anthony Edwards to show up. He didn't show up and then did show up in game 2. He didn't show up game 1, showed up game 2. And they need Randall at the same time, who showed up in game 1, but then not in game 2. And like, after game 1, I was thinking there's still a chance. After game 2, going down against a team that's probably slightly better than you too. It's not like reversed in a weird way. Like, kind of when the Knicks went up 2-0 on the Celtics, we're like, okay, but the Celtics we think are a little better. So, they might. The Thunder are already better. I don't think the Timberwolves can win 4 out of 5. I mean, I think they're probably screwed, which is very sad to say because I'm cheering for them. I told y'all. Now, here is what I will take the victory lap. When we first started this podcast over a year ago, I told you boys, look out for Anthony Edwards and look out for Haliburton. I said those are my next guys, bro. And I'm happy to see him come this far. But my head is going against my heart in both series. So I think they're probably cooked. They're cooked unless Anthony Edwards decides to go Super Saiyan and really turn up.
And even then,
yeah,
still might not be enough.
Yeah, because I think Shea is just so clearly outplaying Ant as well, and then the team is better as well.
Yeah,
it's not just one.
And I don't know how to explain it, but it seems like Ant is trying harder for less, and Shea is just like chilling. Like I don't, yeah.
Oh, it makes very, very simple dribble moves, and he's wide open in the mid range.
The crossovers.
Like, he will just go baseline, hit one hard dribble. The other dude keeps flying. Shea's wide open in the mid range, and if he gets the open mid range, I mean, it's a layup. It's a layup for him. So good luck. Good luck out there in Minnesota. I hope they can make it interesting, but more than likely, Thunder in the finals.
Thunder, yeah. I agree. They do just look so much better. They look like more polished team. I think Denver had the best chance of knocking them out.
Me too.
Denver had the best chance. You're right, unless Anthony starts dropping 30, 35, 40 a game. 40 kind of. Or Julius Randle plays like Julius Randle from the first 2 series.
Yeah. I don't know what happened last game.
Then the Wolves won't be able to come back, and it's just sad because it's like, you're right, they're just not a complete enough team. The Thunder are just the complete team. It's like the Celtics last year, where it's like, wow, all 5 positions shoot, all 5 positions play defense, all 5 positions can make a move and score 1-on-1. At that point, how do you stop that?
Yeah,
how do you stop that? You can't help off anyone.
No,
they'll shoot it. You're gonna get blown by as the main defender. Well, what can you do? So
they gotta pray that Jalen Williams goes cold.
They gotta pray he goes cold, and they already won the series where he went cold.
Yeah, they did.
And I feel like for Randall too, going up against Chet and Hardenstein is very different than going up against Draymond and whoever the hell else they were starting in the front court, or going against Jackson Hayes and
Rui.
Rui.
Yeah.
Like, and then the Lakers are playing small ball most of that series, the Warriors like to play small ball.
Yeah, he was progressively getting like worse and worse matchups.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. Draymond is him on defense, and he did cook Draymond. But just from a size perspective, it's way different when they're starting Chet on you, who's way taller than you. You might be a little stronger, and then you get by him in the help is Hardenstein. And the help is Hardenstein. And then Jaden McDaniels is not. I mean, he started the playoffs like he was going to be a 20-point a game guy, but he's not a 20-point a game guy. The refs are starting to frustrate him.
Yeah, he's just inconsistent.
Yeah. So the team, I feel bad because they seem like they're almost complete, but I don't know. I mean,
they need one more consistent guy.
Yeah.
I mean, but they need goddamn Karl Anthony Towns. If they had the Karl Anthony Towns, things might look a little different.
Yeah. I thought they should have just ran it back, but it is what it is.
It's all good.
How do you guys feel about the fouls that Shea is getting? I feel like I said earlier, they're fouls. He's really good at making it look like a foul. He makes not a lot of contact look like a foul compared to Giannis. Giannis is getting goddamn mauled under the rim. That's why he gets all the fouls and gets so many free throws.
Yeah.
But he just makes simple moves or kind of soft fouls look like fouls.
Actually, not mad at it because, to be honest with you, I thought that the Knicks were getting a lot of calls that they shouldn't have. I thought both teams, like the Knicks and Pacers, were getting certain calls that they shouldn't have been getting, and a lot of them look like Shea's.
Well, they accused Jalen Brunson of the foul baiting as well.
Yeah, but Jalen Brunson is just strong, and he just he literally digs in when he goes to the basket. Like he goes for contact like every time.
Mm-hmm.
How Shea plays it off I think he's him though, and I think eventually, as a basketball fan, I'll come to respect him. I felt the same way when Jokic first started getting good. It was like I don't like watching him play because of his play style. It's not as aesthetically pleasing as I like, but I mean, what are you gonna do? Like, he's that good. I don't like the jumping into people and things like that. I don't really like the goddamn arm hooks. I don't really like.
Everybody does that.
Yeah, that's weak.
Everybody does that. He's better than everybody else, so he gets more calls.
Yeah, no, I respect it, but here's the issue I have with the way it looks. Regular season, it's annoying to me personally, but I think, hey, it's part of the game. In the playoffs, I feel like they've been calling nothing, bruh. They don't call anything. Brunson gets a few, but I feel like they're allowing each team to play very, very physically, except for if you're guarding Shea. That's what it looks like when I've been watching them play in the playoffs. It's like, dang, bruh, last series, the way they were guarding Jokic, bro, they were basically fouling every single play. Like, they're on him, bro. And that's fine. It's the playoffs, but the issue is, with Shea, he could just drive, goddamn, put his shoulder in your chest. I don't really mind defenders creating contact with their body. Like you said, everybody does that. The only thing I mind a lot is when he goddamn jumps sideways or jumps backwards or jumps forwards.
I agree. I agree with. I don't like those either.
And then be like, ugh. That joke be making me kind of mad. But I mean, game is game, and if they don't, don't hate the player, hate the game. Don't hate the player, hate the game. So until they kind of
stop calling that.
Yeah.
I thought they were supposed to stop calling those.
Me too. I was like,
I thought they made that rule because of James Harden.
Yeah, I thought James Harden got rid of this and then Trae Young, but I guess they only be doing stuff for like half a season. Like they were calling techs for flopping for like 1 year.
Yeah,
now they don't do
literally 1 year.
Yeah, but no, I don't love watching it, and I wish they would change the rules. But until they change the rules, I'm not gonna get mad at them.
Game is game.
Yeah, game is game.
The shit that be making me weak is the faces, bro. He takes it, he's like,
yeah.
like he touched the cold water in the shower, bro. It be the weakest fouls, and he be making so many faces, and the slow-mo cameras be having his face. I'm like, yo, like, come on, man. It didn't hit you that hard.
Hey, bro, when you're the MVP, you can do whatever you want. Embiid is 7 feet tall, and he used to hit the ground every time. Like, come on, bro. It doesn't matter.
I get it, though. Unfortunately, I get it, because if you don't do that sometimes, they will just let you get fouled. Like, if you just take it to the basket strong anyway, they'll just be like, yeah, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it's the hit and the head throwback.
I will admit the head throwback, I was just about to say, I think it's more of a ref problem than a Shea problem. I do hope they change it, but until they change, I don't expect him to change. But the head throwback is probably very challenging to look at in real time.
Yeah.
In real time, bruh, you have to call that. Like, this man might have just got popped in the chin.
Yeah. All right, brothers. Let's move on to our final topic, which is Shea MVP. He won it. We kind of knew that was where it was gonna go. Do you guys feel like it was deserved? Did Jokic get robbed? Give us your feedback.
Yeah, I already said it earlier. I don't think Jokic got robbed. I want them to be consistent with the MVP award and say, all right, it's for the best player on the best team. That's what they used to do. That's what they always used to say. And then I think they stopped it because LeBron was winning too much. Call me a LeBron rider, whatever. But I think that's why they stopped it. And then like people were just doing ridiculous things because the league was getting better. Like Russell Westbrook got one. James Harden got one. But like, would you say those years they were better than LeBron? You would probably say, okay, they're relative because they were putting up numbers. But then you get to the playoffs and then you're like, yeah, neither of them are even close to LeBron.
You guys know how I feel about this. You guys know how, and this is the second time now that I've betrayed my people. First it was Caitlin Clark, and now it's Nikola Jokic, bruh. My family is like, oh, SGA, oh, they're going to try. Like, bruh, my family was mad when they thought it was possible it could go to Jokic. They were like he didn't even win it. But like 2 weeks ago, they're like, yeah, they might try to goddamn Lamar Jackson him and not give him. Okay, hold on. So it would be unfair for Jokic to win the MVP. I feel like it's just gotten out of hand now. If you want to say SGA is the MVP, I'm actually not going to get super angry at that because they won almost 70 games. Like, they won so many games that the difference between first and second place is the same between second and, like, seventh. So I understand rewarding that team's best player, especially because he also led the league in scoring. It's not like he was averaging 15.
Yeah.
If I had a vote, I would have voted for Jokic. And I think it's because we're just forgetting what we're watching. I feel like people aren't really respecting what they're viewing on the television every day. You turn on the television. The thing that's weird is they might inbound the ball to Jokic. Jokic might bring it up. Jokic is 7 feet tall and almost 300 pounds. And he might bring that joint up. He's top 3 in scoring, in assists, and in rebounds for the whole season. Not like, oh, he had a career high, bro. For the whole season, he's top 3. From any position, that's crazy, but especially from the center. As a center, he's shooting a higher percentage from 3 than Shea and averaging more assists than Shea. And, of course, he rebounds and stuff more, but that makes sense. Shea scores more. But the problem is I'm having is, like, I feel like the MVP this year became a team award, which I don't have a full, like, hate of. The only thing I hate is when people act like Jokic was nowhere near deserving. I feel like there's a couple arguments for different people, but in all honesty, I think it was a coin flip that really should have went to Jokic. And I feel like just because we're tired of it, just because he doesn't jump high, and because he's not from America, and because he's white, I feel like we're just acting like we didn't just see a man finish top 3 in all 3 major categories over an entire season, which is something Jordan hasn't done, LeBron hasn't done, Kobe, Steph. Like, nobody does that, except for probably Wilt. And so I do think Jokic is being slightly underrated in a weird way right now, but I digress. Congrats to goddamn SGA. They got tired of the goddamn big man, so they had to.
Yeah, voter fatigue plays a role. We all know it. It's okay. It's okay, but nobody's allowed to win MVP more than 3 times in 4 or 5 years. That's the rule.
That is the rule.
Ever since Jordan.
Ever since Jordan, they're like, yo, we can't have anybody ever catch up to Jordan. There will never be anybody in the league ever.
I do agree with that because they really like. You're really telling me LeBron didn't deserve 5? He has 4. He couldn't have got the 5th. They're like, nah, Jordan has 5.
Now Jokic is getting the LeBron treatment. Sorry, bro.
LeBron has the 4, bro.
You got yours already. You're done for your career, probably.
But there has to be some wiggle room if somebody does something. I feel like we're not even talking about it. Like, nobody's even discussing it, bro.
They were talking about it.
It's
I
crazy.
bet you if Jokic came, here's the problem. The problem is what you mentioned is you said it was a team award. Let's be honest. It's a team award. It's a team award. When we talk about the greatest players ever, it's a team award. If the greatest player was ever an individual, it would be Wilt.
You're right.
If it was ever individually. Imagine if
You're right.
If Jordan did not have Scottie Pippen, Jordan probably would not be the greatest ever.
Yeah.
And people, of course, don't take that into account when they talk about LeBron because LeBron's teams are bad. But it's players will never be as good as they are without their team. And of course, the team doesn't get recognized as much. But if the team isn't as good, the player won't be as good. And that goes for all sports. That goes for football, basketball.
Yeah.
Maybe not less baseball. So if Jokic comes out next year, the Nuggets #1 in the West, he's averaging the same amount of points. How can you say no?
They have to give it to him.
And that's why I think Jordan was able to get the 5, because his team came out every single year being the best, and he was obviously the best player, and the team was obviously the best. LeBron, even though great years, a lot of great times. The Cavs, when he was on the Cavs, and maybe when he was on those Heat teams that were top of the East,
Yeah.
the Cavs were hovering around 4,
Yeah.
5. They were one, I think, once or twice.
Yeah.
So they didn't do 4 to 5 straight years, 6 straight years of they're clearly the best team in their conference. This is clearly the best player. And I think to win MVPs past 2 or 3, it has to be undeniable. It has to be outrage if you don't get it. And this, it wasn't undeniable.
I still think, I think there is outrage that Jokic didn't get it. But again, I personally think if the Nuggets had about 10 more wins and were closer to the Thunder, he would have got it.
Yeah, if they were second.
If they were second and like they weren't in that range of 2 to 7, he probably would have got it.
Yeah, because the one thing I will say, I'm a man, I can look at both sides. I looked at the records. It was way different. Like the Denver was the 3 seed, so they didn't have a bad year, but it was like Denver won like 51 games and Oklahoma City won like 68. And it was like, oh, they won a lot more games. A lot more games.
If Denver had won like 61
Yeah.
games or 62 games,
He would've got
I
it.
think we could have a different conversation.
So, okay. Maybe we can meet. Can we meet in the middle like this? If Jokic had won it, would y'all be thinking like it was unfair?
I personally would, but I wouldn't have been too upset about it because Russell Westbrook won it that one year and they were like 6.
Yeah, Russell. They changed the rules because that was just like that was honestly that was a
Again,
reward for breaking history.
They changed the rules. They changed the criteria.
It has to be undeniable. If you do it at less than a 1 or 2, it has to be completely undeniable. If Jokic broke every single record in the book, if he averaged 50 points, 20 rebounds, and 15 assists, then it's like, God dang, okay.
Name the award after him.
Yeah. He's like, okay, here, take it. They're fighting him with it. Take it.
Y'all are right.
So, yeah, I think it's deserved. It's deserved. Shea did. Voter fatigue,
And
all of that.
We need a new face of the league too. They're still having LeBron take some first take, and the playoffs aren't even over.
Yeah.
That's egregious.
LeBron, Steph, and KD are dang near about to take like Jokic and Giannis. Like they're about to take over their area. It's about to go straight to the young guys.
Yeah.
Shea and Ant and dig John Halliburton and all them and Cade.
Yeah.
Dang, bro, you didn't know Tatum love?
Oh yeah, and Tatum. Of course, Tatum. No, Tatum's a champion. He's him. I'm not about the Tatum slander like y'all.
Nah, there's no Tatum.
I'm gonna say, bro, you think Tatum should have won it the year that the Celtics were the best team? Nobody thinks that.
Nah.
See, y'all are so inconsistent, bro.
Nobody.
Y'all give it to Jokic.
Shoot me. But I don't want to see a Celtics player win an MVP anymore. So,
bro, Jay, why do you hate the Celtics? You're not from goddamn LA.
I don't even hate the Celtics, bro. But like, you watch I just never thought like I watched Tatum play, and I'm telling you, bro, he seems like he's Paul George and slightly more consistent in the playoffs. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
With a better team, with a much better team.
Way better team. Yeah.
Way better. It's the team. The team is too good for him to win an MVP.
I think so.
And he isn't the clear best player on the team.
And that's what Shea does have over Tatum, and that's what I cannot ever take that away from him. He has a full team, but nobody's ever going to be like when they're like, probably 70% of people say Tatum's the best player, but 30 would say Jalen Brown. It's not like that on the Thunder, bro. Probably 95% say Shay's their best player, and then you got a few people like, oh no, Jalen Williams is defense. Nah, bro.
Yeah, shut up, bro.
Yeah, it's shit. Caruso, bro, that boy Caruso is a championship type player, bro. That boy is dangerous.
Yeah, he's about to get him ring number 2.
Dang. He's better than KD. All right, that was a joke. Well, all right. That wraps up this episode of 3 in the Key. Great to see y'all, and we'll see you on the next episode. Hopefully when we know what the finals look like. Well, before that.